I'm super excited where education is going. My name is Dr. Dustin York, and I'm an associate professor of communication at Maryville University, and I'm dedicated to finding what works and what doesn't in the new era of education. There's really two things. One, I feel like there's opportunities to decrease the equity gap that we're seeing in the United States with education, where the haves have more education. So I think leaning into virtual lowers that cost, becomes more options for education, which is super exciting, one. And two, it allows us to scale the great teachers. We have a lot of great teachers throughout the US, and in the past, we've been, separated and we've been confined to how many butts can we get in seats? How big is that classroom? That is kind of the extent to these great teachers and what they can teach students. Now we have options, we can lean into options to spread those and scale those great teachers across the country and world. I'm seeing opportunities where I can reach students differently on virtual instead of just, hey, turn on a webcam and do the same thing we did in class. How can we adjust that? So specifically what I do, I'm not even actually in Zoom when I'm in class. My students are, they don't see anything different, but I'm actually an OBS, online broadcasting service, where I can do so much more stuff, where I can do countdowns and I can do I have multiple cameras in the class where I can stand, I can move, I use a green screen, I use interactive, where it's more than, hey, I'm just gonna sit here and look into the camera the entire time, which it takes some testing, right? And as educators, as researchers in higher ed, that should be an interest of ours. Like, hey, how can I find new things to increase my learning going on in my classroom? So it's some really neat features going on. I think one really good opportunity, if we're looking at institutions that say, hey, we need to change. I agree with Dr. York. This ginger is telling me that this is not a Band-Aid. I agree that things are not going back to the way they used to be, right? Is really lean into what is going on across the nation as far as education, right? I by no means am saying I'm some prophet of all of this. I had a couple things that work really well, but I'm also listening to other PhD level faculty, education faculty, K through 12 teachers, and seeing what's working and be part of these groups. Even things from Facebook groups to LinkedIn groups are sharing tactical assets for free right now. People are just sharing this stuff. So lean into that. Don't feel like you're on this by yourself, that you need to come up with all the great ideas all by yourself. Lean into those great things that are happening.